Hello everybody, and welcome to the first deck tech for Kitchen Table Hobbies. That was my little logo sign falling on the floor if you heard that. You can tell we're low tech here. Maybe we'll get a little better at that, but we'll see what happens. So this is actually the deck that kind of inspired me to start the channel. So I'm kind of eager to do this. It's like 2:30 in the morning, so I'm burning the midnight oil to make this happen. This deck is basically, it's a mono blue mill deck, and it's a combo mill. Something I just kind of came up with. I was putting stuff together, had a couple of this card, a couple of that card. It's like, oh yeah, that'll be neat together. And when I first made the deck, it had all kinds of stuff. One of this, one of that, two of this. It was just a mess. So this is probably the deck I've put the most amount of money in buying singles to round it out and kind of get my ones ofs and two ofs up to full play sets. A lot of stuff I already had. If you watch the intro video, you'll know that I mentioned that I don't put a whole lot of money into the hobby if I can help it. I've got a big collection. I've got dozens of different decks that I play with. I play for fun, not for competition. This is probably, I think, one of the most competitive decks I have. As far as the kitchen table goes, it pretty much kicks butt. Haven't tried it out at like a Friday Night Magic yet, so I might do that, at a modern event or something like that and see what happens. Of course, this is a modern deck. It's got stuff from all kinds of different sets. But we'll go ahead and get into it. So we'll start with the creatures. And basically the strategy of this deck, like just about any mill deck, is to kind of control the battlefield until you can pull off your combo and mill your opponent. Neat thing about this deck, I think, is that milling is not the only way to win, but we'll get into that. So with the creatures, basically we're building a wall. We're just trying to protect ourselves and hold off our opponent as long as we can until we can get things up and running. And you'll see how it gets up and running pretty quick. You're going to have to excuse the swizzle stick. I've got a laser pointer, but I have no idea where it is because somebody was probably playing with the cats with it. Maybe the cats will make an appearance in later videos. That would be fun. It would be a catastrophe. So anyway, to our 1-drops, we've got a 4 of Kraken Hatchling. It's a 0/4 for 1 blue. Quick and easy to get out. I like the 0/4 because in the early game you're not going to see many creatures that are more than 1, 2, or 3 power. So first couple of rounds you're definitely going to be able to block just about anything if you manage to pop one of these guys out. Down to 2 drops, and you'll have to excuse me moving the camera here. We've got the Fog Bank, which I think is one of the best cards in the game, but that's just me. So this is a flying defender 0/2, but check this out: prevent all combat damage to be dealt to and by Fog Bank. So you can pretty much block anything all day long. It's never going to die. Of course, it'll die to removal, something like a murder, or exile this, or destroy target creature. Anything like that's going to get rid of it. So you're still subject to things like that. But as far as actual combat damage, not a problem. Flyers, not a problem. Up to 3 drops, we've got for 2 blue +1, the Wall of Frost, another defender, 0/7, so pretty meaty there. Whenever Wall of Frost blocks a creature, that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. So nice little bonus there that they're only going to be able to attack every other turn when you're blocking with this guy. So slows them down a little bit. Again, we're just building a wall here. We don't care about killing any of their creatures. Hover Barrier, another defender flying. Again, so we've got 8 flying walls, so flyers are not going to be too big of a problem. It's a 0/6, otherwise no special abilities or anything. But for 3 mana, 0/6 flying wall is pretty sweet. Our last creature is actually part of our combo and one of our win conditions. That is the Psychosis Crawler. That is an artifact creature for 5 colorless mana. His power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand, and whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. That right there is the combo piece, and you'll see why that's going to be really important. And the number of cards in your hand, once you get the combo going, is going to be probably 7. Almost guarantee it. I've played this deck a lot. Almost always 7 once you get going. You'll see how that happens. Excuse me. Now, I'll come back to it a little bit later, but if you're playing multiplayer games, a lot of times we'll sit around the kitchen table. There will be 3 or 4 of us. Very easy to get rid of 2 or 3 opponents all at the same time. If you got a couple of these guys out and a couple of this that we're going to get to in a minute, done. You're killing everybody. Divination, old favorite. Draw 2 cards, 2 colorless and a blue. This is just to dig through the deck, get our stuff out, get things rolling. We got low casting costs on most of our creatures, so we're going to empty our hand out really quick. We want to dig out that combo as fast as we can. This is going to help us get that going. And so we've got Sleep. This is just to kind of slow things down a little. 2 blue, 2 colorless. Tap all creatures target player controls. Those creatures don't untap during the player's next untap step. Early mid-game, this is going to give you a little bit of buffer time to get the combo going. Late game, it might just give you that 1 extra turn you need to finish them out. Now, this is the linchpin of the combo. This is the thing that makes it happen. And when this gets going, it gets crazy. So this is Mind Unbound. So this is one I found in the bulk rare box at the local gaming store. There's 2 copies of it. I was like, oh, that's really sweet. I'm a freaking wizard. Can't pass that up. Had that in there. Pull it out every other game or so because there's only 2 copies. It was just crazy when it happened, though. So definitely had to get 2 more copies of this. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a lore counter on Mind Unbound, then draw a card for each lore counter on Mind Unbound. So you're going to pop this out on, turn 7 if you're lucky, or a little later. And of course, that turn you draw 1 card. The next turn you put a lore counter, you draw your card, plus your card for your upkeep, 2 cards. Turn after that, you draw 3 cards. 4, so on. Every turn you're drawing more cards. You get a couple of these on the table. You're drawing, maybe after 5 or 6 turns, you're drawing 6 cards and 3 cards and 2 cards plus your 1 card. I didn't even do the math, but that's like, 12 cards every turn? Wild and crazy. So that is what's going to set stuff off. And of course, with our Psychosis crawler, every card you pull deals 1 damage to target opponent. So if you're drawing 12 cards, they take 12 damage. Nothing they can do about it. Jace's Erasure. This is the other key piece of the puzzle. 1 colorless, 1 blue enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, you may have the target player put the top card of his or her library in his or her graveyard. This is where you're milling your opponent. So, like I said, you can get rid of a couple of guys at the same time. So, your Mind Unbound has you drawing a bunch of cards, like a ton of cards. Psychosis Crawler, you're killing 1 guy with their life total. Jace's Erasure, you're killing somebody else by milling their library. Done. You get a couple of these, of course they're going to combo off. Mind Unbound makes you draw 12 cards. 2 of these trigger, you got somebody getting rid of 24 cards in 1 turn. Last is our safety net, and pretty much another win condition. This can wipe somebody out pretty quick. Originally, there's a fly on the table. Originally, I had a couple of elixirs of life, and here's the safety net, because you will mill yourself. And while you're drawing with Mind Unbound, especially if you have 2 or 3 copies out, you need to keep an eye on your library, because before you know it, you'll be drawing the entire thing. So with Psychic Spiral, this is going to let you shuffle your graveyard into your library, and target player puts that many cards from the top of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So this is our safety net. When we're down to like 5 cards left and everybody else has 30, this is going to let us take 25 cards, however many, and shuffle them back into our library so we don't mill ourselves. But then that 25, 30 cards, however many it is, somebody is putting that many cards from their library in their graveyard. More than likely, by the time this happens, they've only got 10 or 15 cards left anyway, because you've been hitting them with the Jace's Erasure. So you're just going to seal the deal with this guy. And of course, our mana base, we've got 21 islands, because we're mono blue and we're cool like that. So One thing I had thought of was some reliquary towers would be an option to put in there, so you have a no maximum hand size, and that's going to make the Psychosis crawler absolutely monstrous, and you can whack somebody with that in actual physical combat. With the Psychic Spiral, though, it's going to be counterproductive because you want to dump cards into your graveyard during your discard phase so that when you pop your Psychic Spiral, you've got a big graveyard to shuffle in and they get rid of a lot of cards. If I was going to put Reliquary Tower in, I would probably take Psychic Spiral out, put in a couple Elixir of Immortalities as a safety net, and maybe add a couple more creatures or something like that. Something I might explore with in the future. Well, there it is, my mono blue mill. Don't really have a name for it. I kind of explored with like Psychic Psychosis Unbound or Unbound Psychosis Spiral, something like that. I think Unbound Psychosis Spiral sounds cool. But anyway, that's that. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed the deck tech, and we'll have more coming to you soon. Bye.